26 miles of fiber just for Duke going in.
Yes.
You know, not to mention Sirius has been through there with a major fiber upgrade and everything like that. As small as Davie County is, it's got a lot of stuff going on this year.
And it looks like we've got someone with Xeris online, so we'll let him kind of chat here in a minute once we do a roundtable. So where is the bulk of the work going on? You see here over in Moxville, like you said, Advance 238 and Coolamy 157. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
That's what I've always called it, but. All right, so where's the work coming from? This Frederick Matthew Robinson Company. This is that fiber, installed there, and they're working for Yadtail. Jimmy R. Lynch and Sons, that's that water line project. Yeah, so 88 of those tickets. So between fiber and that water line project for Davie County, and then of course, we got Yadtail Xeris, I guess the same, 57 tickets there. Diversified Utility, they're working for Duke, placing, phone line, underground cable for them. Back to J&L, they obviously are for Spectrum, and then the Davie County, that's just their normal repair type stuff that they do on a monthly basis. Energy United doing stuff for themselves. Beatty Plumbing, we typically see wherever there's housing developments, there's some sort of, grading, and as I was looking at some of the dirt data yesterday, that's still a high offender is grading, developers, that sort of stuff. A lot of damages due to that. And so they're working for Century and Sedgwick Homes, I think it is. So. All right, any questions on those? I know it's a lot of information. All right, so as we progress into the upcoming months, I'm going to start providing you a little bit more granular data on the damages, but just wanted to kind of give you a snapshot here of 2022 versus 2023. And this data does come from the dirt data. So anything that by law here in North Carolina, you're required to report your damages, that gets uploaded into dirt. So this is a snapshot of what it looked like in September. And as you kind of follow the trend, you'll see the blue line being 2023. We did have a peak in March, kind of dropped back down, kind of is staying steady. And then you saw a jump in August. Interesting fact is from CGA on the national side, in past years, we see that August tends to be a high month for damages. So not really sure if it's just, trying to get this stuff, in the ground before, winter sets in. Not really sure, but certainly there's, so much fiber going on. There's so many variables that go into that. But that gives you an idea of where we landed on the damages. Okay, just a reminder from our remote ticket entry folks, there are 3 wonderful resources to use here. Just want to remind you, if you haven't downloaded the NC 811 app, please do. As a homeowner, you can use a single address ticket. As a contractor, we tend to see a whole lot more of them using the single address ticket. Just a reminder, it's one address and it's drop-down boxes that you choose for the type of work and also the location. So you're not able to go in and freeform text. This is just easy peasy. Single address tickets can be done on your phone, can be done on your desktop, either way. You can update a ticket through the app. Just a reminder, you can do that there. And of course, you can do it online as well. You will need your phone number associated with that ticket and the ticket number. And then
can you do a mercy ticket on the app, the single?
You cannot. You can only do it through a call-in or remote ticket entry. And then we do have, I love it. Our revise. So if you click on the revise section, You can do a 3-hour ticket there. You can click on that and do a 3-hour. You can also request a destroyed marks ticket. And just a reminder, because we've seen it, folks are using 3 hours when in reality it needs to be a destroyed mark. So just, if you're seeing that kind of behavior, please let us know. We're happy to reach out and, educate them. Certainly you guys are more than welcome to educate, but if you need, some stronger backs, we'll be glad to call them. And then, of course, you can cancel a ticket from there as well. So that's called our revised section. And with that, that is our team here. And once again, hopefully, Howard's out in our eastern part. Steve is our face of 811 with all our presentations, and there's Parrish. So he hopefully will be back next month, but back to your UCC in December. So with that, I am going to turn it back over to you. If you want to talk about our projects. Any other projects, or do a roundtable and just input?
This is Justin Castle. He was our new construction team. He's a distribution project specialist. He's going to be attending our meeting, probably as a co-chair.
Oh, nice.
But if you know of anything SEC's got going on?
No, I think everything's pretty good with the SEC right now. We got a lot of projects in Gibson County right now. A lot of waiting on permits from Gibson County too, but everything's going good so far.
Fabulous.
I'm Valerie with 5 Star Energy Services. I'm the project engineer. We've been here about a year, but we just got into Winston as far as or I think just got into a couple months ago. That's why I saw the tickets here. We did all of Walker County basically, and that's why we've done this for a few months. We must build. Our company also does. We're going to be here a while, but our company also does gas pipeline distribution and water service replacements, and we don't have any of that yet, but we're talking with people. So while we're here currently for Limo's, that's something that might have to come back as well.
Get to know Valerie. She's been really good about following our meetings here lately. We were able to reach out to Lumos, had Anthony Tussey attend our Locate Resolution Partnership Committee. And then from there, I think he reached out to Valerie, and then she's been, actively attending, and she understands the full process now. So
Yeah.
I'm thankful.
What you mentioned earlier about the submitting a ticket, having it for 90 days and then updating it. I'm going to talk to them about that too, because with our in-house crews and it looks like a lot of tickets, but we're putting in almost 80,000 feet in the ground every week with us and our subs. And with our in-house crews, we're putting in 20,000. So our tickets, we tend to keep them active for about 4 to 6 weeks. The way we do it, our in-house crews are all pipeliners. And so they have this, basically the assembly line how they do it in-house. And so our tickets are open for 4 to 6 weeks. So we have an update or two. We try not to spend 3 hours because we work with the locators too. And we have USIC paid locators now. They're in Hillsborough with us, a couple of months helping us out. But that was interesting when you mentioned the 90 days keeping it open, because if we're not going to hit it or we're not going to work on it, then I didn't realize that we didn't have that flag and then submit an update. So yeah.
So we had conversations initially is, please don't put the tickets in unless you have all your permits. Everything that you need and you're ready to go to work, then put your tickets in. That way they're not just sitting there and, sending out a locator.
Yeah.
So she made a comment of 5,000, basically 20,000 feet a week. So that is a conversation that we're having from the locator perspective, what we're hearing, is that a realistic expectation for, say, a small town, you know, that may only have one locator? And that's the issue that we're having around the state is, you know, we can't keep up with the volume. We just can't. So, you know, what are the municipalities doing to ramp up? What are you all doing to communicate with those locators? So that's what we're needing. We're needing that on-site pre-con and try to stay ahead. If you can plug in some tickets, get started, and then just do it incrementally so that the locators can stay ahead of you. But that's only gonna happen with communication.
This is we'll have a pre-con, we'll, like Wilmington. We're not there yet. We're gonna do Wilmington early next year, but we're already out there trying to meet people and know what to expect. Because we learned a lot. We've been there a year, and Randolph County out in Randleman, they had one locator for their water who used switching sticks to do it all. And we had, 11 jobs out there, about 30,000 feet each. And this poor old man was sitting there with little switching sticks. He's a retired guy who we get like 10 tickets a month, and then we roll up and it's like, I mean, we're going fast. So we learned with that to reach out to municipalities.
Yeah.
Let them know what to expect, because we're not going to be there. Walkertown took 6 months for us to start to finish. And so I'll live in that area for a minute. You know, we don't necessarily need to hire tons of people for the long term. So we try to work with them, let them know what to expect before we actually go out. So Walkertown, we started in March, and I started talking with them in December as far as what to expect out there. So
Perfect communication, because we've got to reach out, identify those people. I know Tim and them, they're working on a project out in Wilmington too. And, you know, once again, just that communication. So awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Miss Nicole.
Hey, well, I do public awareness for 5 states, but I'm just here listening to all this great information. And thank you guys for participating for what you're doing.
I have the pleasure of working with Nicole. We do a lot of sponsorships together and sharing the 811 information. And I guess February going to be out at the Fire Chiefs Conference, and we'll be, you know, making sure that they understand what's available. And when they roll up to a scene, maybe there's a damage. Our app is very beneficial to them, and they can pull up the damage notification and they can see which members are in the area. There's direct phone numbers, and then the near ticket. They can see, are there any active tickets? Should there be a damage? So all those resources together, we've been, you know, partnering for some time. So
Yeah, and just so you guys know, some of those, there's a Bowman Gray partnership where every time at Bowman Gray Stadium, we do a false flag, and there's a lot of them.
and we like those.
We like
Regs. We like Regs.
I think the minimum was like 27 and the max was like 68 in a day. So every caution flag, they're sharing the 811. So that's a pretty good sponsorship.
Yep.
We do the Winston-Salem Dash. There's like signage out there,
Concrete floor graphics.
concrete floor graphics. They're the coolest things ever. We do.
Thank you.
sorry, you're too bad. I would be
See you in
only my
Guilford.
in case anybody.
No, you're fine. And also,
Okay.
See you later.
y'all should see this thing. I she does really well in the meeting, but you should see her with and very comfortable and serious about her message, and she's passionate and she works really, really hard. So thank you to you for filling it.
Thank you to you.
Also, what you do. My daughter adores
And we adore her.
her.
She is a 811 employee in the making.
We went to a dash game and gave out bags, but where we were at was not a great location. It was great for the excavator, but so they took all these bags, and that buggy and went over, and my daughter and Ann went up and
Handed
down
out.
steps,
Mhm.
handing out the bags of 811
That's
and
great.
like giveaways. Like she worked her little tail off. So she's next station.
If you guys are gonna be out, hopefully this will be in the next month or so. Nicole and I just partnered with, Wake Forest Sports Properties. So the Coliseum's gonna have a big Piedmont 811 message when you go in there. So we're excited about that. So a lot of great stuff going on. Mr. Yarbrough.
So, I do cover the Carolinas for Ames Code for damage prevention. As I said a little earlier, we definitely got a lot of work going on in the Permansville area. And,
We know.
if you want to make a homeowner mad, just go put a shovel in their yard and let you know about it. But, y'all need anything, y'all just, give me a call.
Yeah, we've had a lot of cuts because of your subcontractors working out there. And, we actually have TRC going out today to watch over them, give them some guidelines, and hopefully it will be more damage prevention. Because it's gotten to the point where the fire department, we've already talked to 2 supervisors here, have talked to 2 fire chiefs, they're fire captains there, and they're wanting us to shut it down.
Yeah.
And, and then
We definitely had some, conversations and even moved some of the subs out when we had some problems with it. So, we're definitely working on that. I know, it seems like, the majority of what we have had has been by a shovel guy just digging too aggressively in hard dirt. So, definitely working on that. And I hear you concerned.
we're gonna stay on top of them too. And I actually went out there last week and did a stop work on some of them because they were actually boring the road and did not have the gas line marked or spotted in that location. So I shut them down, If that's what it takes, that's what we're gonna have to do, because we can't keep continuing to, have our personnel tied up out there, but we got other work that we need to do too. And then the fire department is staying on us about it. And, the homeowners are going to the city council. They're want to because it's got to that point now.
Yeah, and that may have been some of the deal where the tickets were 32 code and we called in 3 hours and somebody never showed up, or I don't know, but we get.
Oh, they were located. They've been located while I've been out there.
We can talk about it offline.
In fact, speaking about your damages, I know Joel Calabrese, he, does all your damage reporting and stuff for
Yes.
Piedmont. He's out at Mecklenburg, so he did send me an email yesterday. There were 12 gas damages, in the Triad. 2 were no notification before digging by the contractors, and then 4 of the damages were attributed to locator errors. And that he said, as you can see, that is half of the damages for the month for Triad. So pipeline operators look at their damage per 1,000, and that's one of the slides that we're going to try to produce for you guys, is giving you an idea what is the damage per 1,000 ratio on tickets and what is the damage per 1,000 ratio on transmissions. And he said it increased from 2.0 to 2.05 for last month. So there was an increase in that. But, there's a lot of correlation there. When you see more tickets come into the system, there's more, ability for damages. So once again, communicate. Perfect. All right, Sam.
I'm Tim Smigelski, again, lead supervisor, I'm supervisor for, we do unload cables for Piedmont. So when locators have troubles locating it, we get an email, that's our workload, and we go out there. We have 3 crews here in the north area. Unfortunately, since Charlotte's been hit so hard with unlocables, we've been on 2-person crew up north here for almost a month now. Our 3rd crew's going down to Charlotte. To that effect, when the locators turn over an unlocatable with us, right now it's we have to do our own E1, we always do our own E11 ticket, which puts in almost a week delay by the time we get the email. Our tickets going in to we can get back. That's the quickest this would be. So in the end, it ends up being about 3 weeks from the time the contractor puts their ticket in, the time we can get on site to do an unlocatable. And we only do things up to 5 foot deep, in grassy areas.
So Heath is going out. If they can't locate it, then they're sending you, just so you guys kind of understand their process. They send you the information, right?
Yes, if they can't locate it, their supervisor's supposed to double check, make sure it's a true unlocatable, and then they send it to us. So we usually get it, and I don't want to say this, not throwing them under the bus, but we usually get the email about 3 days after the ticket was due. That's average. Sometimes we get it the day the ticket's due.
Yeah.
But usually it's about 3 days after the day the ticket is due. We get the email, obviously depending on the time of the day and when we put in our locates, the best way we found is our person puts in the same scope the contractor had. Now that does lead to delays if we go out and we find that, hey, they've turned over a service, contractors only got the roadies, but we need to dig by the house. That will delay us another week because we have to put in a separate ticket for where we actually need to dig.
And you guys are communicating with that excavator, correct?
We've gone back and forth on that. We've gone to, hey, call them, and then we've gone to don't call them. There's been problems back and forth, with ill feelings. So we have to be careful with what we do. Now, my name is on the tickets for the north area, so contractors call me and, we will prioritize as much as we can. Again, we only have 2 crews. We've done a lot of times where we've gone up with a contractor says, hey, if the problem is in our scope, we'll dig it up for you and fix it. So you guys can fix it. So we have worked with contractors when we get on site with them, where they'll dig it up, and we fix it. And sometimes it's, just a matter of, hey, we're really gonna push, can we get out there? We do have probably 25 to 30% of our tickets, or our work is literally just digging up a tracer wire or finding the right valve on steel, which we really wish it was lower than that. But it is what it is.
So, okay, go ahead, Tim.
Then once they get it where it is located, then he has to go back out and mark it again after that. So you got.
Is there initial communication from Heath to that excavator?
Yes, he
Okay.
sends the email.
Okay,
Once we get it and we put our ticket out, then our lady also sends the contractor an
Okay,
email, hey, an unlocatable was noticed,
yeah.
or unlocatable was recorded in there. So there is email communication, it comes down to,
I mean, in a perfect world, that sounds great, but I can tell you in reality, in the field, that if I'm and I keep picking on Tim, but if I'm a ANSCO and I get 300, emails on tickets, guess where it goes? Into a general mailbox that probably, and I'm not saying that happens, but there are some people that use general mailboxes because they know they're going to get all these responses back via email. Do they want that many hitting their emails? So, I mean, I can only encourage you, but at the end of the day, if that excavator wants, to reach out to you, they will, but,
we run into a lot of the subcontractors who their contact number either doesn't have a voicemail, they don't answer it, or it's full all the time.
please share some of that information with us if you are seeing that, because we can, the information that's on the ticket should be the contact that you should be able to get up with. I get it. The person putting in the ticket, that's probably, an admin, but that field person needs to be correct. And if you're seeing a trend, let us know so that we can reach out to them and say, hey, you guys have, this is an issue. We need to make sure you get good contact information. So. All right, so now I understand. So TRC's doing the watch and protect here. you guys are doing unlocatables, whereas down in MEC, you're doing watch and protect and unlocatables. Gotcha. Perfect. Awesome.
Well, a little bit of what TRC does. We generally do the follow-ups on the heat locators. One is a lot of the high-risk tickets for cleaning. So we're meeting with the contractors as well, but we understand your guys' process. So we try to educate that contractor as well as, look, if it's an unlocatable, check your spam folders, because a lot of the times y'all's emails are going right to their spam folders. Or like you said, they've got a bulk account email that they've set up where everything goes in there. And they never have anybody check it. So we actually educate those contractors. If you've got that, then you've got to do your due diligence and find those emails, because you are getting them. There's a lot of times where the heat guys are backed up. They've just got a tremendous amount of tickets, just like all the other locators. If they run across something that's unlocatable, it might be 2 or 3 days before their lead tech or supervisor can actually get out there to verify that and then turn it over. So that pushes that contractor even further away. So what we try to do is actually meet with those contractors, and when we find these situations, explain that process to them, to make sure that they don't go out there and dig on top of the gas, or just get overzealous and just start digging anyways. There are a handful of those guys out there who will disregard it, and their way of thinking is, look, I did my job, I called the ticket in, it's not my fault, it's not our,
Exactly.
I've got a job to do, I'm gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
So those are the guys we try to catch and try to educate on how not to do this. And we want everybody home safe at the end of the day. And obviously, our job is to protect the utilities as much as possible. So, and with ASCO, I've had some great conversations with him. I think you and I have talked on it several times, and meet with your guys. And it's only because you're sitting here. I've got some ASCO crews and subs that do a phenomenal job. Got some guys that still need a little bit of work and a little bit of education. Vlad is a huge asset to TRC at Piedmont as well. Vlad is our Spanish speaking inspector.
Perfect.
So he's able
Nice.
to relay a lot of that stuff. It gets lost in translation. And I don't speak Spanish, and stuff will get lost
Sure.
on me. So we call Vlad quite a bit. Our watch and protect crew that actually works in Ohio are calling Vlad down here to translate a lot of
Oh,
this stuff.
wow.
So we will make sure that you all have his number. We're more than welcome, Vlad is more than welcome, or more than happy to help you guys out with those barriers there. So that's one of the things that we offer. A lot of the issues we see in the field, and it is a lot of mismarkings, and ways that the sheer volume of stuff is getting pushed behind. So we try to work with the locators and communications between the locators and contractors, and kind of bridge that gap, so to speak, so where everybody's on the same page. Especially when we start running into larger projects and things like that, we'll facilitate those pre-meetings, and I think I've offered to you guys, if you have large projects, please give me a call, let me know. We'll get the locators, locator supervisors, at least with Heath, on board and try to get there so they understand what you're doing. And as far as those guys calling in multiple tickets that they're not going to be working, we try to educate those guys on that as well. So that's just kind of a rough overview of what we do with TRC, and we have no problems if you, we were talking yesterday, if there's a contractor that's having issues, we have no problems meeting those guys on site. We'd actually love to meet them on site, have those conversations. If you guys take care of the other cables, if you have issues with contractors pushing you and just kind of getting overbearing, call them. We'll have those talks with those guys as well.
Nice.
So that's what we want to do.
So the third step, question for you, Michael. So once, if you guys can't locate it, does it come to you, Justin, or who handles it on the Piedmont side? Or just project? Okay, so who's our,
They come to me.
they come to you, okay,
Yeah.
so
And I assign it to one of our crews.
are you seeing a lot of those, or? Yeah. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
Okay.
it comes in stages. It really depends on the neighborhood.
The area,
Yeah, because like you said, I mean, they're digging grass.
right,
You got
Y'all
some
are, yeah,
driveway,
anything.
road, something like that. And it's gonna take time to find it.
What's y'all's turnaround been as far as once y'all get it?
They're normally working the same day. That they come in, yeah, so, but if it's, you know, later on in the afternoon or, you know, towards quitting time when they come in,
Yeah.
push it off to the next day.
Right.
Okay.
And we wish we could get better notes, because there are times that we get stuff that they turn over, that they say, hey, there's 800 feet of main that's unlocatable. We go out there and find out it was 70 feet. You know, they turn over things like, they'll turn it over as no tracer wire and whatnot. Turns out it's tracer buried in concrete. You know, so we try to prioritize steel and anything where they say, hey, tracer wire buried in concrete. We try to, we can't always do it because we know that there's a better chance that's going to come back to Piedmont. That way we can get it back to them right away.
Have you had any luck by contacting them, you know, calling them, the locator directly? Do they answer or not have any
We
luck?
get the supervisor's numbers and, Aaron, before he changed position, gave us a list,
Mhm.
but the while back, all the locators went, do you have these phones?
I actually worked with Keith for 2 years. I was a crew leader for a while.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of their lead techs personally. I've got a few of them on board with us where they give us better notes. But the entire group is still hit or miss. Like, the guys that do it over toward Guilford County and Alamance County, they've gotten substantially better about the notes. So actually, they work with us more on it. The guys that are over on the west side, so up toward Turner's over Winston, it's really hit or miss on what kind of information you're getting that they can say this and we go out there and it's not even what they were telling us today. This, sometimes it kind of feels like they do a copy and paste from the previous email and just give us the generalized information and it makes it a little more difficult for us to figure out what's going on, but usually we try to get it turned around as quickly as possible. So it does make a huge difference with the information we're given as far as how quickly we're able to respond and everything.
Yeah, if it would, because I would know what to go ahead and dispatch a crew out to that, you know, location. If it's a plastic surface where wires buried in the, you know, they're covered with concrete, then, you know, we can go ahead and knock that one out versus having to send y'all out. Because when we do it, we'll mark it. We don't wait for Heath to go back. All we want Heath to do is just clear the ticket out. But when
You'll mark
our
it.
crews do it, we'll mark it.
For yourselves.
And that a lot of that comes down to, they have a line where they can say if it's in dirt, whatever.
Mhm.
And everything they turn over is in dirt. They don't say it's in concrete or anything.
You will aware, you know, just to get them to put the city on the email, you know, when on the header line on the email was, took just about after Congress, you know, on my part, to keep, to get them starting on that, where they just started doing that now, but, yeah, maybe we can work with them on that, with have a meeting with them, and I'm gonna try to make sure they're in the next one that we have here.
So what makes it static and not locatable? Is it that they can't get a signal hooked to the tracer wire? They can set a pipe on down the market? Is that?
They're not allowed to buy
They're
it.
not allowed to do pipe.
Yes.
Piedmont can, I've looked at pipe and Piedmont, marking what they pay for.
Okay.
They can't even heat pay pipe.
Yeah, they're not like, not saying that they can't use it, you know, and they probably qualify, you know, and trust it, but.
But they gotta get a signal off.
Right, they gotta get some fire.
Are they status in that code 30 or 32?
I have no idea. We don't have access to it.
Right.
32, most from what I see, a lot of the tickets are status 32.
32.
Well, that's a good question though. If it's an unlocatable gas.
Yeah, we don't have a, positive response for that.
Yeah.
That's why it's, so. All right, well, Rodney, we'll save the best for last. We have Rodney online.
Hello,
Hey,
Rodney Wilmoth, mainline supervisor for Xeris.
tell us a little about Xeris, Rodney.
Yakin Valley Telephone went through a name change, probably about 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. Wanted to take the telecom out of our name. Telecom is something that's, in the past, wanted to get rid of the, telephone, name, use something Xeris. Done a survey, Xeris is supposed to mean fast. So that's why they, management went with the Xeris name, just for a, internet speed scenario. So then we've been in Yadkin County, all of Davie County, moving into Forsyth, Iredell County, a little bit of Alexandra County. But here in the last few, I don't know, 2 years, we're slowly moving over into the Clemens and Winston area.
So, Rodney, one of the things I noticed is when you guys are putting your tickets in, some of them are coming in as Yadtel, some are coming in as Yadtel/Xeris. I've seen some just Xeris. So, I guess moving forward, if you guys are obviously going by Xeris, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Just to make sure that everything's placed as Xeris. And then that way, if you come back and say, hey, Ann, I need a report, or I'm looking at, a lot of update tickets, it's easy for me just to pull that report. So that'd be awesome if you guys could, and let's just look at this. Let me make sure how you guys, your member code.
And like I said, a lot of the mainline stuff, I'm over the main lines. I'm the supervisor over mainline. Okay. And we have got engineering, when they go out and go into a development and do residential, these engineers will put those tickets in. So you're getting tickets coming in from Jace, from Michael, from Mason. Those are engineers, and they put their tickets in once they get on site. So when they go out and look and meet with the homeowner, determine what side of the home we're plowing to, at that time is when they will put that ticket in for that structure, for that address. Where I do bulk, I do, hey, I'm getting from address such and such going down a quarter of a mile. That's where I come into play at. So, and it could be something across the board that they, these guys never done it. I do everything under Xeris, and maybe some of these other guys may be doing something with the Yadtel/Xeris naming wording.
Well, when I look at how your member code is set up, it is set up as Yadkin Valley Telephone /Yadtel/Xeris. So that's probably why I'm seeing that. Okay.
AKA.
Yeah. All right then. Super. And you guys are just telephone, correct? Are you doing
internet? Just internet. Yes, okay. We're just providing customers with the streaming capability.
Okay, gotcha. All right, perfect. Well, we are glad to have you online with us today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
And hopefully we will meet you in person when we come back to Davie County back in the, I guess, January. So.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
Sounds great.
Great. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
All right. Dwayne, do you have anything? All right. I think that's everybody. Anything else for the good of the people? Well, we appreciate you guys taking your time. Justin, before I leave, I want to get your mugshot so we can get you up. And I have recorded our meeting today a little bit into it. I realized, I forgot to start the recording. So at least half the meeting, the good conversations at the end. I do have all that, and that will serve as our minutes, if that's okay. That way we don't have to have a secretary. All right. Well, thank you for being online with us, Rodney, and we'll see you next time. And I'm going to close out. Thank you.